Too Much Internet.
And welcome to another special episode of the Too Much Internet podcast, your weekly fix for your strange web addiction. My name is Eddin. That's Karina right here on my right Zoom side. That's Hector on my bottom left Zoom side.
I'm a bottom?
You are a bottom in this case. And then on my bottom, like right under me, we have like a special guest.
I don't see that. I see I'm on top.
Well, you're on top.
You're
You're the dom in this video situation, but then the way we're recording, you'll see later. We have a special guest. We have what I would say a podcast legend, and I'm not even gonna just try to hype you up. Recorded over like 200 to 500 probably podcast episodes ever, I'm gonna assume. 2 to 3, 2 to 4. It's a lot of podcasting.
I'd say maybe 400.
400. So that's at least like what, 3 to 5 years of podcast? 3 to 4 years of podcasting?
Yeah, 4 years.
That's a lot of talking. It's a lot of podcasting.
Sometimes I need to like spit in my own mouth to just get my like lips to move again. I'm so tired of talking.
That makes sense to me. Have you ever used lube? Would that work?
In my mouth?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's too much? Okay. I've never used lube, so I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works.
Your mouth is already wet, Eddin. What do you...
But if it's like, if you're dehydrated and you need some like, and you don't have extra saliva. Have you never been out of saliva during?
Yeah, but
you don't use lube.
Oh, you drink water.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I didn't take the KY jelly and pour it in my mouth like a toothpaste tube.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I guess I've not been using that right or at all. Traveled nationwide for a tour, right? And thrown to the emo hoe, which we're going to ask you about that in a minute. We have Weezy from the Horrible Decisions and For Fact's Sake podcast. Yeah, clap it up.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming all the way from Mexico, Tulum. Am I saying that wrong or right? Tulum or Tulum?
You're saying it right. A lot of niggas say Tulum, but it's Tulum.
Tulum.
And as a Tulum. You know, I mean, I feel like, aren't you guys like kinfolk? Shouldn't you like know how to say it?
So we're Latino. You think we know how to say all the Spanish words?
I mean,
we should.
I mean, that's fair. That's really fair. Can you?
You know, it's so funny because like, I was telling this joke. I don't know if you guys remember Clueless at all. When she's like, I don't speak Mexican. Do you remember that?
No. What the fuck? When did that happen in Clueless?
Well, I told this joke and like someone hadn't seen Clueless and they looked at me like I was a terrible person. But basically, I'm at this Mexican restaurant a few days ago and this white girl walks in. She's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand anything. So I looked at this girl next to me who was like, I would say around my age. And I feel like most people have seen Clueless. So I looked at her and I was like, I don't speak Mexican. And she's like, what?
You said this in Mexico, in this climate, and you thought everyone saw Clueless? Stacey Dash is in it.
Fucking... Not even, they like they were before our time on like not being PC and being hilarious, but there's this scene where one of them calls it, the Haitians, they're really suffering.
The Haitians. Wow.
It's a great movie.
This reminds
I have to watch this movie again.
Dead ass, right? This reminds me, I recently just watched American Pie, but it's American Pie Girls Rules. So it's like
I saw it on Netflix.
Yeah,
is it worth it?
It's not bad, but it got super terrible reviews because everyone's expecting like American Pie to be the same thing as like 2002 American Pie. And that's just like not going to happen. But it starts with like a fucking pie. Go figure. Right? I have a question for you. How are you? How are you thrown? Yeah, like, well, not fucking a pie. There's like sex and then go figure. Instead of cakes, I didn't even realize this, by the way. Instead of cakes, they use pies throughout the movie. So you never see someone serving a cake. It's always serving a piece of pie because it's called American Pie.
Wait, what do you mean?
But why would they be serving cake?
Why would they serve cake?
Why would you serve cake?
I don't for a birthday? It was someone's birthday. It was someone's birthday in the scene.
Birthday.
Okay.
Come on, you gotta get context here, baby.
I'm sorry. My bad.
What's going on?
So instead of
pies everywhere. Can you believe it? Yeah, we can.
When was the last time you had pie?
I don't really eat pie like that.
A week ago.
Well, I don't really have white friends, so Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Now Weezy's.
I feel like pie is so white though.
I mean, compared to where you're in Mexico and you're eating bizcocho and tres leches.
Not bizcocho.
Yeah, you don't say bizcocho, man. Come on. Bizcocho is
I ain't never heard of it.
Yo, Karina, do you want to tell Weezy that story about bizcocho and why it's not the same? So in Spanish, you could say cake in different varieties. You could say pastel. You could say bizcocho. You could say, what's another one?
That's it.
That's about it, right? So there's two ways.
Yeah.
Such a variety.
But Karina knows why I have a very dark past with bizcocho. Why do I have a dark past with bizcocho, Karina?
So he was invited to this kid's birthday party, and then they were serving out cake. And Eddin didn't know the Mexican word for cake, so he was just going around saying, "You want bizcocho?" So bizcocho in Mexican means pussy. And then, so basically, he was going around all the adults saying, "Yo, you want a slice of pussy?" And then this one guy was like, "Yeah, I haven't had that in years." So
I'm going around a 3-year-old's birthday party asking people if they want some pussy.
Wait, but how did you know it was pussy and you didn't know it was pussy?
So my family's you have a Nicaraguan here, so Central American, you have a Dominican right here with Hector, and then you have a Mexican when it comes. So this is the Too Much Latino podcast, as you said before.
Oh my god, because like stuff is like different.
Yeah.
But you guys like still speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Dominicans use bizcocho.
I got it.
See, they use bizcocho, but then Mexicans use pastel. So I would have never. I thought it was the same thing.
I got it, because like I just like kind of thought everybody was like Puerto Rican.
Basically.
By the way, speaking of Puerto Ricans, one of my homegirls comes on the podcast a few weeks ago. Her name's Venus. And she makes this joke about how she's Dominican and how she actually speaks Spanish, not like Puerto Ricans. Oof. Yo, people were in the comments like, fuck y'all. Y'all call yourselves some inclusive bitches. I was like, whoa, cállate. Hold the fuck up. What the fuck is going on?
I'm not going to say that Hector hates Puerto Ricans, but he's not the biggest fan of Puerto Ricans. Like they even have, they fight about what it's called if your rice is stuck on your pot. That is an actual battle. See, it's called con or pegao.
It's
like,
but which one's the real one?
That's the battle of the century, Weezy. You're asking the biggest questions here in 2020. Which one it is, we don't know.
It's con.
What did the Mexicans say, Karina?
Yeah, Karina. you have to
that goes in the trash.
Do you eat hard rice, Weezy?
Hard rice?
Yeah, like, rice that's like stuck to the bottom of the pot?
Yeah.
If it's like Asian food where they do crispy rice, but no.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. This is not crispy rice. This is some other shit.
We make use of all of our rice.
Yeah, they use all the rice.
You do like burnt rice.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it tastes good. Hello.
It's burnt.
Oh, I thought y'all was trying to just conserve shit, because I feel like all kind of Spanish people be conserve and stuff. By the way, I really miss saying Spanish people because I'm from Florida and we don't know better. But like people love to correct me, like, oh, if they're not from Spain, they're Latino. But I won't call them Spanish people.
But I mean, if we say you're black, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I guess Spanish means Spain.
Spaniard.
So you can't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean.
But I mean, whatever. I'm not meeting no European hoes, so it's Spanish people.
No one here is going to be obnoxiously offended by that. But wait, so now let me ask you a question real quick. The first time I ever heard you was on the Brilliant Idiots podcast, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, right? Talking about sex. I remember working at a photo retouching place, and I was literally just listening to y'all, and then one of y'all moaned really loud, and the whole office looked at me very weirdly. And I was like, great.
Oh, no.
I got to work for these girls someday. And look at that. How lucky am I? Why were you called, or why are you thrown as the emo hoe?
To be honest with you, I don't call myself a lot of things, but I do claim the title emo hoe because Charlemagne always says, use your own truth so no one can ever, pit it against you. And I'm a crier. And so I was like, okay, well, like, I know I'm not the only one. I'm definitely going to be the emo hoe, right? Like, I feel like my co-host is not that person. Like, she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve, where like, I'll cry I'll cry over anything.
What's like the smallest thing you cried over?
I cried this morning.
Okay. What?
So I think I told you last night the Wi-Fi was out. So They came this morning and this guy was just talking about how I'd have to get a new router and I'd have to drive 3 hours far out to Cancun to get it. And I just started tearing up because I was like, I don't have time for this. And I don't know, but like they just come out of frustration. Like I don't always cry because I'm sad. I cry a lot because I'm frustrated.
That makes sense.
And so like, which is awful because I've been in fights in high school, like in the middle of crying. Like bitches be cursing me out and I'll start crying because I'm mad, but I'm like not crying because I'm scared.
Would you start crying and then start swinging, or would you just start crying and then that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I've cursed people out crying.
Do you like punch and then sleeve? Punch and then sleeve?
It's so bad. I think maybe I just have like an extra gene of estrogen or something in me. I don't know.
But then that gives you so much character. Won't you say that? Won't you say so?
Crying ass character. You know how hard it was when I was working a 9 to 5? Oof. I had to like bite my own tongue to make sure I didn't fucking cry in the office and look crazy.
That's fair. That's fair. Have you ever cried before or after sex?
Yeah, and during.
Oh, and during?
Yeah,
Definitely during, especially when you come hard.
Oh, okay.
I've cried definitely before breakup sex, definitely during because you come hard, and then after if I felt like, I don't know.
Have you ever cried?
You guys never cried during sex?
I've never cried during sex.
Not like actually like, but like tearing. I'm like, this is.
Yeah, I don't boohoo cry.
Oh, boohoo cry. Oh, okay. No. I mean, have I
boohoo cried before, like a breakup.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
And then he fucked the shit out of me, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't terrible."
And then you cry of happiness. See that's fair. Now, the reason why I'm quick and easy to ask questions for Weezy, oh god, that like rhymed oddly, is because she is part of the Horrible Decisions podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how much you guys have grown in the last 3 to 4 years to even having like a nationwide tour in the United States and even being in fucking Mocha Fest in Mexico?
North American tour because we've done Canada.
Oh,
but anyway.
and Mexico, and technically Mexico. So you've done all of North America.
North
I can't
America.
wait to say worldwide when we get to London. I cannot wait to say global tour. Like, I feel like that's going to be like... Yeah. It's funny because I started my podcast 3.5 years ago, and the podcast it started off the basis of 2 corporate women talking about sex. And then over time, like, there was only so much dick we could suck. And it really turned into a podcast that was like truly about kink for Black people and just interviewing people about their experiences. But it's weird. Like, as you start growing, everything that you feel like you've done feels very small. Like if you did it 6 months ago. And I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Once you hit a certain number of downloads or once certain amount of people follow you or whatever. And I had a girl recently while I was at Mocha Fest here in Mexico. I was like, wow, do you realize like a podcast for like 3 years, 4 years, you know how long that is? And she was looking at me like, and you can still entertain people and they still stay? Aren't you proud? And I was like, wow. I mean, I guess. But, you never really sit back and like...
Think on it, yeah.
Think about it and, count your own flowers, I guess. Like, it's really nice. I've appreciated it.
And I have like mad noise going on in the background, so my bad for that. Now, can you tell us a little bit about For Fact's Sake podcast?
Yeah, so For Fact's Sake podcast, I recently started over quarantine with my friend Eddie. Interestingly enough, Eddie made a joke to me, like, he was a podcaster that I liked about 6-7 years ago. And I always was like obsessed with his show. And I asked him for advice about Horrible Decisions before I started it. And he made a joke when he came on Horrible, like, isn't it funny how your podcast got bigger than mine and you were looking at me for help? And I've always wanted to start another podcast, but I didn't want anything that felt the same.
Okay.
Like, I feel like Horrible is so niche and so, it's like one type of person who could listen, right? Even if people know me from Horrible, they may not listen, but I feel like For Fact's Sake is for everybody. It's a podcast all about learning shit, but like an explicit NPR. So over quarantine, him and I were joking about how we keep learning new things. I'm like, oh, now I can play tennis. Now I do this. And we wanted a podcast to teach people. So every week we just pick a random topic and we give you facts about it. But it's like not from expert level, which a lot of people were expecting. But it's like some Googleable shit, you know what I mean? So it could be sex, it could be semen, it could be haunted houses, eggs, Donald Trump, anything. It's just, and I love that because it's so endless, which with Horrible, sometimes I'm scared because I'm like, oh my God, are we going to do threesomes again? But everybody loves threesomes. Like, that is every week.
What's like one topic walking into For Fact's Sake that you were like, all right, I'm gonna fuck this up. Not fuck this up. I'm gonna get this like right, like from the get go. I don't even need that much research. I got this. And then one that you were just like, I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about, and you're just Googling to the minute that you're recording. Oh, really? Okay.
The sex episode, it was so funny because like Eddie would say a fact, like, did you know semen? It's like 4 million. Yeah, I knew.
Of course.
And then one you were just not ready for?
The Scientology episode, which is like one of our highest rated episodes. Oh my God. I knew nothing about that shit. I never knew how many celebrities were in it. I didn't know you could pay to get higher in the tiers. I didn't know that they like were like kicking people out of Scientology for telling people they were in it. I didn't know how huge they were, that they own so much real estate. Yo, Scientology is insane, dog. I didn't know, look at me still going, that they think that your body is like basically is in an alien and that it just evaporates to the Mars. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And Tom
like
Cruise is like the VP of Scientology?
Yeah, he is.
I know.
Isn't Will Smith in that too?
Oh, shit.
That's right.
I didn't hear what you said because the internet went out.
Oh, my bad. I said, isn't Will Smith in that too? Or is it just Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he was. He was for a bit, but not anymore. But I mean, there's so many celebrities that are into Scientology. And honestly, I didn't think black people were, but joke's on me. We did a cults episode. There's a black cult. Like, whoa. I was just like, well, these ain't the type of blacks I know.
But all right, so you're doing both horrible decisions. You're doing for fact's sake. Before this whole COVID shit happened, even though just recently you guys were both in Tulum doing Mocha Fest. Can you tell us a little bit about the nationwide tour you guys did, or the North American tour you guys did, and what that was like meeting all these?
Sure, thank you.
By the way, for both of y'all to know this, and for everybody else who's watching, when they say hoes, it's not hoes as in like HOES. It's HEAUX. That is, that's what y'all call your fan base, right?
Just because it's like a classy kind of hoe.
Right, it's a classy kind of hoe.
I just feel like regular hoe, if it could be a gardening hoe, that's not the type of hoe that I am. I am a
top tier
hoe. Right? Actually, that's the name of our group chat, Top Tier Hoes. Oh. But yeah, we took Horrible Decisions on tour for the first time like 2 years ago, and it went really well. We sold out every single show, which is insane. Which also let us know we probably got rooms way too small, but I think we just didn't know our reach. Because, you know, I do believe most people don't know their magnitude of their influence. You have some people who probably think too highly of themselves, but at the time I really didn't think Horrible was as big as it was. I mean, I wanted to charge $10 for tickets. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's enough. And we ended up selling out, I mean, within days, some of our shows. So our last tour was huge. I mean, we were filling out rooms. We had 2 back-to-back sold-out dates at Sony Hall, thousands of people. I mean, I was in shock, like, especially because when you're doing like meet and greet and shit, then you really are like, wow, you like flew here to another city to come see me? Like, dude, I don't even... it just surprises me so much because podcasting is such a different type of fame. Right. It's like a pseudo fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I've been in a grocery store and someone recognized me, people look at me like, who the fuck is she? Like, why are they doing this? But you feel so connected to those people, right? Mm-hmm. Because you listen to them for hours and you dedicate that time, opposed to like watching a movie where, I mean, I don't watch movies because actors are in it. I watch the movies because they look lit. You know what I'm saying? Depending on, of course, who it is. But I think that's what makes podcasting so special. And once we were touring and to realize that many people would leave their fucking house to see you, I don't know if they'll do it anymore, but yeah.
I mean, after COVID, obviously, you still... Now, this is what I was going to ask you. Now, you guys... Now, Horrible Decisions is also now part of the Black Effect Network. And you... I remember, this is a common thing you normally say. You say, like, your pussy price went up. What is it? What is the thing you call when you're like? I'm misquoting. Oh, but like for example, I remember I was saying. So usually, Weezy and Mandy will hire me.
Where did I say that? I remember what you're talking about.
Or it's like taking pictures and stuff. And then I think she signed something. Weezy signed something. She was like, "Pussy price just went up," and I was like, I was like, all right. And then I took the picture.
I remember this because people started asking for autographs, and that was like to this day, even. First of all, my moment to me that let me know that I was like becoming lit was when Jesus and Mero knew who I was. And I thought after that, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Beyonce. But the only other thing that topped that was someone asking for an autograph. And I was like, oh shit. Like, pussy price went up. Like, you can't just like the things that I charge for, like it's up. Like, know that you'll be waiting in line. My head is blown up. Like, yeah. I'm also talking shit, by the way.
No, I mean, no, it's great. Now, before we go into the topic of this episode, which is internet porn, which we feel like you'd be a good expert on it. Where would you want to go after COVID's over? I know you said Europe before, or the UK, or London. Are there other places you would want to tour in terms of the horror tour for Horrible Decisions? Got it. Nailed it.
Oh, I think places that we haven't gone yet. This is a random city, but I'd want to do like a Portland or Seattle.
Oh, okay.
People I feel like that we're forgetting about. And then as far as globally, I would want to do a tour. If it isn't London, maybe in like a Berlin. There's a lot of European listeners, and I feel like that's more central. It's like a metro city, and everybody could just come together. And then I feel like we could do like a horror trip. You know what I'm saying?
A horror trip.
Yeah, like people in the States. We have a listener of ours. His name is Siggy. He's been to almost every one of our shows. He even though he lives in Atlanta, he came to this one in Mexico. And I feel like people like that, people that enjoy traveling, but they love the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like you could like, like a celebrity cruise. It'll be like that.
The horror cruise. Or the
That's your question? Because my Mexican internet's fucking up.
That's okay. I think in our recording that you'll be perfectly fine, even though you'll like be jumping while we're doing this, and then Hector and Karina are just like, I don't know if she knows that she's jumping everywhere. But I hear what you're saying, and you're totally good, and we appreciate you again for being here. Okay, so internet porn is the conversation for today. So we have a couple of things that we just want to go across with you. One thing, big thing, real quick, before we get into it. How did you get so comfortable with like talking about sex, porn, gagging, getting spit in your mouth, etc.? Because like for me, you guys, both you, Weezy and Mandy, and I seriously mean this, have made me comfortable to talk about sex and stuff, to especially even to my friends. Like you could ask both of them about how I'll just normally be like, I can't just randomly think of something because I want to wash my mouth. But there'll be shit that I'll just come up with like out of nowhere. Like for example, and not with this group, but another group, like with just particularly men, right? They're like, I have like all of them except for me and maybe two other guys who are afraid about talking about eating ass. Like that's like a eating ass. Like who does that? And I'm just like,
Oh, could you?
Yeah.
I'm like this. So how did you get so comfortable, and how would you want, what would you say or give advice to somebody who isn't comfortable about talking about sex to their friends or their family, or to people, to maybe more so normalize it?
Yeah, I think that the way that sex can be safe is talking about sex so much. You know what I mean? Like, for example, you talking about ass eating with your friends and being able to laugh and joke about it. I don't think we can really have safe and comfortable sex without letting everyone know that it's okay to bring up. I, for one, have a lot of friends that I remember in high school that were going through situations that were violent, or they weren't using condoms, or they were being manipulated or coerced into sex somehow. And they were scared to just talk about sex freely. And I feel like when you open the room for talking about those things with people, especially those that are close to you, it only encourages safer sex. Like, I really believe that, which is funny because people would think the opposite, right? They're like, well, if you talk about sex in front of your kids, they're just going to want to go out and do it. Like, my mom was that person, and I was so comfortable when I had sex as an adult, when I had sex as a teenager, because she taught me everything I needed to know. I didn't have to like Google bullshit and go on Reddit. I don't know if they had Reddit at the time, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It definitely started in my household. But I think what made me sort of fearless about talking about sex to the masses, particularly podcasting, is because I can't see the listener. You just basically talk to your friend and then you put it on the internet and you're like, okay, whatever. Right. Like, it doesn't feel like it's real. When I am doing a live show, however, then like my first few, I was nervous. Now, not so much, but I was like, oh, wow, I can see their faces. I'm seeing when they don't laugh at a joke, or I'm seeing when they're kind of grossed out. Like, that was very difficult at first. Right. And then now what's carried on is like the bigger the podcast gets, you've got blogs or threads or people on YouTube that don't give a fuck and will give you really hard feedback. That is probably the hardest thing. But you've got to learn that people enjoy you being ruthless, and people enjoy that. People love authenticity. And for the most part, most people don't talk about things like this. So when you embrace it and you're out and open about it, they're going to love it. Yeah. Because, we have a virgin on the podcast. Really? Yes. Yeah. You do. You guess which one of us is the virgin? And why is it Karina? I'm only going to guess Karina because she looks so scared. She looked like she was like holding her lips together when you said that. Now, this is the thing. She's the born again virgin, Karina. Yeah. Is what she is. It's been so long that I was reborn as a virgin again.
So she.
How many years does that take?
Okay, not many years, but like it's been a few months.
It's fake. She's not a real virgin. She just likes to put on the show.
It's right before quarantine.
That's a long time, though. I mean, what's the longest you've gone, Weezy, since like, let's say, like the last time you had sex, and then right there, then you had sex?
6 months.
Okay,
6 months.
But that was like because I was going through a breakup on some emo shit. That was dumb.
Fair.
Like, I just really feel like I should have busted it open. Like, I kept thinking, and this is where, like, I guess I have a podcast. I was in that bullshit of like, oh, I respect myself. I want somebody to respect me. Guess what? They won't. Just get fucked. Like, it's just so stupid.
You heard it here.
You're doing... Well, I only say that because, like, we're so concerned what someone else thinks of us and completely forgetting that we're going to come too. Like, or we want to come too. You know what I mean? Like, it's for me. And I think a lot of times I give, like, men too much power when I say that I can't, you know what I mean, do it because I feel like they feel a certain way about me.
Right.
So that means go fuck and go busted wide open, right?
Hear that?
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. One day.
She said Monday or one day? Might as well start on Monday.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So when it comes to porn, there are a lot of popular sites. There's a lot of popular categories of sites. There's a lot of popular porn categories. But I will start off with just saying about what are the most popular kind of sites, not exactly the names, but these are the popular porn sites. There's regular tube, so it's just like regular porn, quote unquote. There's live cam. There's now VR porn, which I'm assuming everyone here knows what VR porn, but if no one knows at home, it is virtual reality porn. So if you get access to like goggles and stuff like that, you could dead ass put those goggles on and you'll see like some chick, some dude giving you head, and it'll look so real. You could like look around and it'll feel like you're in that like awesome haven of pornography. There is hentai, which it's Hector's favorite. Am I wrong to assume that, Hector?
No.
Weezy, do you know what hentai is?
Yeah, it's Japanese porn.
It is Japanese anime porn.
Anime, sorry.
Yeah. And then there's amateur porn, there's anal, there's gay, there's paid porn, so like usually for premium. So Brazzers, you name a couple actually, Weezy. I'm curious to how many paid porn websites you've used or maybe
I know
of.
Dog Fart is a large company.
Hold on. Dog Fart?
I'm serious.
What do you mean dog fart? Because we have as much as a virgin as Karina is, she's also a huge dog lover.
Well, it's not a golden retriever site. No, like, so you mentioned Brazzers. They're one of the well-known porn, like, basically distribution and directing companies, right? So like a Brazzers is the company that will like pay people to make their videos, right? So they'll charge like an actor, like, hey, this is going to be our video, but we're going to pay you to star in it. That's like a Dog Fart, like a Evil Angel. You guys have probably heard of Evil Angel, I feel like, right?
Sounds familiar.
They're a big site, but Dog Fart is like that. But I only know Dog Fart because like if you type in black girl gangbang, they come up a lot.
Okay. What about so there's paid porn, just like you said. With Dog Fart, I didn't see that one coming. Adult chat, right? There's like Chatterbait, right? There's erotic, which when we were doing this research, I didn't know erotic. I thought porn was just erotic. But
by the way, sorry to interrupt you. I didn't bring up OnlyFans or Cam Soda for a reason. I feel like you're about to say that's part of another porn, right?
That is, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But I see why you wouldn't maybe particularly just call it as a porn site, because OnlyFans, and I forgot what the other ones that you just mentioned. OnlyFans, you don't have to do porn. You don't have to do nude. You don't have to be fucking. It could be anything. But
it's like Patreon. But
right, it's like Patreon, but it's like pussy. Right, exactly. So but it's just been popularized with that, I would say, category. Is that fair to say?
Right. Yeah. I mean, crowdfunding is like, you know, a Kickstarter or Patreon. Like, I really find OnlyFans to be that kind of site, to be honest with you, like, because it's independent. So that's why I don't know.
There was like a situation recently,
right?
right?
And see what it's. I'm gonna go right now and I'm gonna see what it says. Hold on.
There was a situation where there was like a famous model or a famous actor who kind of like fucked it up for everybody. Do you guys know about that at all?
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't say anything about porn. It says OnlyFans, sign up, make money, interact with your fans. and it just says for content creators. It says nothing at all about porn. So.
Yeah. Right. Now, I mean, there is a big taboo.
The famous
when it comes
person
to
you're
OnlyFans.
talking about is Bella Thorne.
Bella Thorne ruined it for everyone.
What does she do though?
So I guess there's like she like sold her content for like $200 or something, and I could be wrong, but basically they put a cap because of her.
Oh.
They have now put so they have now put a cap on how much they can do because of her. And so it's and I think they fucked up the pay schedule too. You get paid differently, so a lot of the girls are upset about that as well. I don't know. I'll be honest. I didn't really think there was a big deal from like actors or famous people or like a Black China jumping on OnlyFans until sex workers have really been vocal about it. I mean, they really feel like it takes money out of their pockets because the rules and stipulations change, as well as I guess people wanting to pay for them instead. That part, I feel like it's kind of like whatever. Like you're going to have some top dog. Like one of my favorite OnlyFans girls, her name's Miss B Nasty. And she's very popular on OnlyFans for making insane content. Like fucking herself in a car wash, doing crazy shit, right? Like, why aren't y'all mad at her? She's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but you're mad at Bella.
I've definitely seen this before on Twitter somehow.
Yeah. Be Nasty?
Yeah. I feel like I've seen this before. Just thousands of now hearing stuff like that. I've heard a couple of girls tell me that they've thought about doing OnlyFans, but they were like afraid of it because of how their friends and family would think about it. Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about it, Hector? And have you ever thought about it, Karina?
So I've never started, but I would never thought about it, but I would love Karina to tell us why.
Yeah, why would you? Why would you do it, and what would you do in it? Because again, it doesn't have to be porn, it doesn't have to be nudity, it doesn't have to be sex. It just be anything. And what would you do?
Karina petting dogs.
I can see that.
What would I do? I just pet dogs. No, I think maybe if I were to do it, it would be like those e-girls, you know, but like I guess kind of sexy. I don't know if I would fit the bill for that, but that's what I would do.
So you're not gonna get naked?
No.
No.
No, I cannot. But you know, a little showing some maybe some ankles, some shoulders.
What are you gonna heat the job too? Let me give him a little angle.
I've definitely said that I would if I were to do OnlyFans, I would like do something with food, like sexualized.
Okay.
Like a lot of like food stuff.
I feel like if I ever made one, there's a reason I don't want to do it. I'll tell you guys that in a minute. But if I ever made one, it would be like doing house chores in like my underwear and telling jokes.
Okay, I see the appeal of that.
That would definitely be
that.
Like I would probably cook like with like a, I don't know, slutty panties on and like be like, oh my God, look at this stuff that's spilled all over me.
That would work. I think it would work.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like OnlyFans hasn't been around long enough to want to do it, and we don't know the repercussions of it yet. I'm also not sold on the idea that I'll be an entrepreneur forever. Also don't care to be. Okay. Like I feel like once people like move away from a 9-to-5, they're like, oh, I'm a boss, I'm never going back. And I'm like, whatever. Like I was making good money doing that too. I don't give a fuck. Like,
fuck that.
It's kind of whatever to me. Like, especially with all the people working remotely now, like why would I care to work 8 hours a day and make a steady paycheck? Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anything is wrong with 9-to-5s, but for me, like, I don't know. I've read a few things about people getting their bank accounts taken away from them because you're not supposed to deposit OnlyFans money for, I think, JP Morgan particularly, which Chase. I don't know. I just feel like we don't know the magnitude of how it can exploit or expose you yet, and that's really why I don't have interest. I feel like the long game is really what it is.
Have you ever subscribed to someone on...
You cut off.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Have you ever? You have.
OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah. You just said Be Nasty.
So right now, I can tell you who I have. Be Nasty, Julie K. I have a girl named, a white girl, which it's a shame, but she pegs people, and I love to see it. Like, she's super hot. I'll tell you her name in a minute. I do have the Harder Soft podcast as one, which is Tahoe in Orlando, and Orlando like uses sex toys on there. Goddess Angelina. Oh my God, dude. Like, this girl, she looks like a doll. And she, like, basically straps up and just fucks these weird guys. And I only say they're weird because they're, like, fully latexed up from, like, head to toe. That's some weird shit to me, but weird in a good way.
Yes.
And
I can't.
But
I
just think
would get
she's just
I would get so
gorgeous.
claustrophobic.
Oh, I have to watch it. Like, it's just so good. What's this in her ass? Hold on. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I got distracted.
Now, in category of knowing what OnlyFans you do like or what OnlyFans you follow, we're curious about what are, let's say, your top 3 porn searches that you would do. And when we say searches, we were actually talking about this right before we started. We were trying to categorize what a search is. Because, Hector, how many searches are done in a year when it comes to porn?
When it comes to porn, we have in a year.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Was that the Pornhub 2019 year in review list?
Hey, man. You know, we did it.
No, it's a good one.
Yeah, I think it is. Is it? We'll find out.
They have, I think, the most up-to-date stats. Like, I just feel like if it's another website that would comment on those numbers, they may not be as accurate. I think Pornhub is definitely the most widely used one.
A lot of places, and Hector mentioned this, they were like not up to date to like 2019.
Yeah, like 2010.
Yeah, like 2020,
Yeah.
2014, 2017, 18. But
I tried to look up some stats too on it before. Yeah. It's just not that easy.
yeah, Hector, what was the number you had from before?
like 2019 with 42 billion visits.
2 billion visits.
42.
42 billion visits. And we have like 7
I think 1 million of those are me.
Probably. I'm sure half of those are me. And then, like, so with that being said, what would be your top 3 porn categories that you go when you hop on? Which, first of all, what's your like?
I don't need you to explain this. I know exactly how to answer this. Let's start from 3. I would say number 3 is always lesbians. Number 2, gangbangs. Number 1, bukkake. If we want to do subcontext of those categories, it would be Latina lesbians. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's probably because they start talking Spanish and it gets hot. Number 2, gangbangs, specifically ebony gangbangs. Has to be a black girl. I just don't like really anyone else getting gangbanged because then they start doing like the oh yeah, and I don't like it. And
bukkake?
Bukkake, it could just like literally be anything. It could be gay bukkake. I'll take it.
So why do you segregate your porn categories? How did you come across that?
Oh wow, I did.
How did
I don't know. I'm a sick fuck.
you got your lesbian Latinas?
I used to fuck this girl who was, this is so racist. She was Brazilian, but maybe it just sounded like Spanish to me. And I was like into it. And I always thought, I think she was talking Spanish. Yo, I didn't realize they were segregated. This is so fucking racist. I mean, but like, I can't help what gets me off.
There's nothing
it's
interracial you like?
Big black cock. I like the gangbangs. I like them interracial until they start saying. I just don't like when white people say the word black. Then it like sometimes white guys be like, "Oh, I want to come on your pretty black face," and I'd be like, "Oh, this is fucked up."
we were doing our research on this stuff, and we were like, all right. Usually, whenever we try to do this, because this is a new format that we're kind of going into when it comes to like internet topics, particularly. And this week, past week that we just did was the dark web. The week before that, we did creepypasta, and we were like, if we have Weezy on, we will do porn. That being said, we watched one gangbang, and that gangbang was probably the most racist gangbang we watched, and is probably the weirdest.
What's it called?
We didn't watch it.
We watched it.
You probably watched it.
We screamed. We
saw.
We
no,
screamed.
we just saw screenshots of that shit.
We screamed because we clicked, and I was like, "Yo, do you see the?" This is what it is.
Wait, you guys had to do research for the pod and watch porn together? This is weird.
Yeah,
we definitely watched porn together.
We definitely watched porn together.
Yeah, we did.
We were watching some gay porn.
We are very comfortable with each other that we could do things like that, and we're like, all right, cool, and it'll be like 3 a.m. Like, and we'll be like,
it was definitely 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Are you in the same room?
No,
it was on Zoom.
On Zoom.
We're definitely watching gay porn. I definitely,
gay porn was just not it for me. It was just not it for me.
I was like, yo, can you zoom in a little bit? Yeah, thanks.
But this gangbang, going back to the gangbang real quick, it was like Ebony gets gangbanged by like 17 dicks. But then the 17 dicks were white, and then every white dick had a t-shirt on that had the Confederate flag on.
Oh, yeah.
That's dog fart.
Oh, that's dog fart?
Dude, this is why. Okay, so initially they didn't wear the t-shirts, which is why it wasn't a problem for me. And then I found out these niggas, well, not niggas, but these white people started. I found out they started doing the t-shirt thing, and I was like, oh my God. And then I found this one porn. I felt so bad watching it, but I had to finish it through because it got too interesting. Some of their Confederate flag porns is basically a white girl holding the black girl's hair like in a ponytail while she gets came on.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm like, oh my God, this is so slavey. Like, I can't. Like, it's weird.
She was like holding her butt cheeks open, and we were just like, whoa, this is
the one.
That's the shit. They just bring some bitch. They bring probably their sister. I don't know. You know,
it goes like just a little too far for our taste. Now that being said, what's like another like top three? But in this case, it would be like the top three sites or the top three categories you definitely will like click next to or next page, or just you'll avoid those categories without a doubt because you know that you hate them.
I don't like grandma stuff.
Which Toothless Grandma, by the way, is one of the most popular searched
I think
porns.
it's the dick sucking skills, man. But I mean, also there's sometimes where like when I pick gangbang or if I pick amateur, it's a lot of no bullshit crackhead porn. Oof. Have you ever seen that come up?
No.
Crackhead porn?
That's been like suggested to me. I don't know why. Maybe they know I do drugs, but it's not crack. And honestly, it just fucked my head up. Like I'll be watching it and it'll just be like a gangbang or whatever, maybe like a bang bust type thing. And then suddenly like the next one, it's like full on like girl who's like tweaking. There's porn, and like I wanted to talk about this on Horrible Decisions because I went in a rabbit hole, not masturbating, but like looking. Right. There's like a PCP porn where people will like do meth on camera and shit.
Why? I mean, not why.
Now I'm kind of interested. I'm interested in like seeing what's the weird shit that they got.
God damn, I wish I could find the name of it, but like no, it's a real fucking porn, dude. Like people doing full on hard drugs and they're like fucked up and like leaned over like heroin type shit. It's so weird. And then another one I click off of, right, which I guess you like, is hentai.
Oh, why? I knew this, by the way. I had a feeling, and it's not because I was probably there for the sesh for Horrible Decisions. I some reason
think you were just there when we did that episode.
No, I for some reason I don't know why, but I could somehow imagine that both you and Mandy would not like hentai because it's cartoons.
Now, the interesting part about this, and by the way, no judgment.
Yes,
I think cartoons take me to thinking about childhood.
Oh, okay.
However, I don't watch adult cartoons. I don't watch Family Guy, even though I fuck with it. Like, I don't watch Bob Burgers. And one of my friends was telling me, who watches hentai, he's like, I don't watch cartoons in a kiddie way. Like, I watch anime on the regular, so this doesn't make me think of being a kid. Yeah. But when I watch it, I start thinking of kids. Right. So it's weird.
Okay.
Not kids, but like I just
I know what you mean though. I know what you mean. Like there's a correlation, so it just hits a weird note.
I'm like, do we need to cut that out? No, I'm not thinking of fucking kids.
No, yeah, we know. No one take it out of context. Last two things before we let you go, because we know you're really busy, and we appreciate you coming here on our Zoom meeting, recording podcast on the Too Much to
I
podcast.
wish I could have stayed longer. You guys were so much fun. I feel bad that I can't stay.
No, I think it was a great enough time, and we'll probably have you back on again whenever you're available. Two last things. One, what is the longest porn session that you've had?
Probably like maybe 12, like all day, like ordering food, kept masturbating, like kind of like.
First of all, you said ordering food. That was the part that got me. I was like ordering food.
Like I had to take breaks, like because I remember I got hungry and I was like, damn, I've been doing this all day.
What do you order mid masturbation sesh?
What do you think?
I was gonna say I don't know. I was gonna say Chinese. I don't know.
I'm not watching Hector's porn. That's fucked up.
But pizza's messy. What if you get sauce and garlic on your hand? I mean, obviously wash your hands, but like,
Oh my god.
Okay, I just remember this day specifically. It was a snow day, and I was supposed to get fucked that day, and I couldn't because there was like a full-on blizzard. And so, is that dog fart barking?
That's my dog. Being an asshole.
which the dog has a Japanese name, which is Hachi. So you can also
does.
guess
Like Hitachi, like a vibrator.
like a Hitachi vibrator too. Yes.
Boom.
So, oh yeah, that's right. So it was a snow day. I was supposed to get fucked. I was super horny. I was ovulating. So I masturbated about 3 or 4 times. I had like FaceTime sex, then got off, went back to porn. And then I was like, damn, I haven't ate today. So I ordered pizza. And I remember when he came, it was like,
Pizza guy?
not when he came, literally. I was trying to hurry up because you know, when it tells you it's on your, it's like the dasher is close or whatever, DoorDash.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, 2 minutes. Like, yeah. And then I don't know why, but like I just couldn't stop. And then I went downstairs to check the mail because like they used to steal packages in the Lower East Side. Mm-hmm. And I remember my neighbor was like, oh shit, what have you been doing all day? And I was like, if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. And when I told him I had been masturbating all day, he goes, dude, me too.
I think that's the only thing you could do in a blizzard, honestly.
Yeah, or
Watch
movies, but like,
Netflix,
why not
what you
just
mean?
jerk off? But I lived in a studio apartment at the time, and it was just a very like, it's just bed, kitchen. So you eat, fuck yourself,
Right.
like that.
Okay, super last thing. What? Oh, have you ever been caught watching porn? And what was that like?
The only thing I could relate it to being caught, because I live alone, is my mom. When I was living like the HBO Cinemax Showtime type thing, and I would sit on the edge of the bed with the remote in my hand like this, and with my finger on
Last channel, yeah.
to put it back to MTV. And so I would just like, I don't know what I would wear, but I would like hump the edge of the bed, and then if she came in, I'd be like, oh wow, I love this song.
That's the best way not to get caught. Weezy, thank you so much for being here on the Too Much
You're
Internet Podcast.
welcome,
Can you
guys.
tell us and tell everybody here where they could find you? What are some things that are coming up for you guys at Horrible Decisions, for Fact's sakes, and things that you're excited about for the rest of 2020, even though most of this went to shit?
Well, what I can't talk about is something that you know about. So when I come back, we'll talk about that. That's the biggest thing going on for me. But other than that, it sounds like I'm not doing anything. Just check me out on Mondays at Horrible Decisions. Check me out on Tuesdays at For Fact's Sake. And yeah, try to catch me drunk on IG Live.
Yay! All right, guys, everybody give it up for Weezy. Thank you so much for being here, Weezy.
Nice to meet you, Puerto Ricans. Bye.
All right, guys, we are really, really, really grateful for Weezy being here on the Too Much Internet Podcast. I didn't just have to re-record this twice or make sure that I had the titles right because I didn't know it was for facts. Fuck.
Hey, you almost fucked it up again.
So I'm gonna leave this. Fuck it. I'm gonna leave
Just
this
keep it
last
straight.
second. Yeah. Keep it straight. Whoa. Relax.
Day.
No.
Keep it homo.
Yeah. Keep it homo. No homo.
All homo, all day.
All homo. Fast forward. So yes, thank you again for Weezy for being here on the Too Much Internet Podcast. You can check her out on Mondays on Horrible Decisions and on Tuesdays for Fact's Sake. Yeah.
Why is it so hard for you? For
You
fact's
say
sake.
it.
For
Say it,
fact's
Karina.
sake.
See, look at you.
Facts.
Fast.
It's
Say
like saying for fuck's
Facts?
sake, but for fact's
Sake?
sake.
You don't think I know that that's a pun?
I mean, you obviously don't because you keep fucking it up.
I don't know why I keep fucking it up. It's because I always just see FFS.
So? Sake.
For fact's sake. There you go. Monday,
Facts.
Tuesday. And guess what? You want to complete the trio of the beginning of your week? Then that means on Wednesday, you could come check us out here at the Too Much Internet Podcast, where you can hear myself, Karina, and Hector talk about the internet oddities, where your weekly fix for your strange web addiction on YouTube and all your favorite streaming platforms. That being said, we're still going to be talking about porn real quick. We're going to go to Karina to hear a little bit about the history of internet porn. Karina, what do you got for us, buddy?
Which was straight.
So I will never give it to you straight, first of all.
All right, give it to me curved. I want it curved.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. Ow.
What was that?
Oh no.
Titty shake?
Oh
You
no,
don't
I
get-
froze. I froze. That's why. I was like, oh.
Y'all don't get titty sweat? I got titty sweat right now.
Nah.
I get titty sweat.
I'm
Will you
like
do this?
sweating.
Yeah.
I'm like sweating.
It's humid.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
cold
humid.
over
It
here.
is humid.
Hector has his window wide open.
It is not. It's closed.
My window's like kind of open and I'm still sweating.
I have an AC
And
off.
y'all sweating?
yourself.
That's crazy.
off.
It's
off for-
winter time.
It's off for noise purposes. But yes, Karina, the history of the internet porn.
So the history of internet porn. So it was believed that the first pornographic website was developed in 1994 by a guy named Gary Crayman.
Gary!
Is that right?
Raymond.
Is that right? That rhymes with semen.
Hey,
Does it? I was thinking Kramer.
Kremen. Sorry, I said it wrong. Kremen semen.
Kremen.
There you go.
Oh.
Like that.
Kremen Semen.
Yeah.
Kremen.
Kremen semen. And so allegedly he said he had no pornographic intentions with this site. And it was called sex.com. I don't know if I mentioned that. Did I?
No, you did not.
Did you mention
not
the
mention that.
sex.com? Well, the sex.com.
Did I mention that? So this was back in 1994. And then a little bit later on, this guy named Stephen M. Cohen saw potential in sex.com to be a pornographic website. And he was like, yo, I'm going to get this. So he called up Network Solutions, who was like the company that like controlled the domains at the time. And with some fraud documents, he contained ownership of sex.com.
That's crazy.
I know, right? And then Mr. Gary here found out and he was pissed.
It's livid.
He was livid. And he sued Mr. Steve.
He was pissed. Sorry.
He was pissed.
He was
So
pissed.
Mr. Gary,
How many times
are you gonna let me finish?
Oh, sorry. It was just so funny. My bad.
So then when Mr. Gary found out that Mr. Steven took ownership of sex.com, he was what, Eddin?
Pissed.
Thank you. And he sued Mr. Steven. And in court, he eventually won. And it was a $65 million judgment that he won.
Oof.
But before he could get paid, Mr. Steven thought it was a great idea to run off to Mexico and
Hey.
put that money into a bank account offshore. I know. Crazy, right? Everyone just flees to Mexico. Like, what's
Yeah.
in Mexico?
Remember there was a time where everyone was like,
That's
yo,
laws.
Yeah.
That was a lawless state.
it was a lawless state.
It's a lawless land.
There was a time where people were like, yo, too many Mexicans are coming here to the United States. And now it's just like, yo, everyone's going to Mexico.
Everyone just flees to Mexico.
Now goes to Mexico. But yes.
Yeah. So he went to Mexico. And then in 2005, he was caught and handed over to U.S. custody. And then in 2005, Mr. Gary sold sex.com for $12 million.
Oh.
So he made a pretty good penny for that. But in the meantime that he was like fighting for ownership again of sex.com, he made this little website where you can find your perfect match. Do you know what that site is?
Is it connection.com?
Education connection?
No.
Is it
Education
together.com?
Together?
Is it couples.com?
No, it's not couples.com. So I'm going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
It's a little website called Match.
That's not little.
Match.
It's a little website. Yeah. So that's a little bit story about the internet porns these days.
Dang, they went from like just having a regular like sex site to then making it a porn site, and the dude was like, yo, that's my site now. And he was like,
Yeah.
no, it ain't. And he was like, you right, I'm gonna go to Mexico, but you ain't gonna get my money. And then the other guy was pissed.
See, I was gonna tell like that.
and then he was so pissed. He was like, I need a girlfriend now. And then he was like, everyone needs a girlfriend now. And then there you go.
Match.
He made you mention exactly.
Wow.
That's
Here we
funny.
are. And that is the history of internet porn for you. Jesus.
That's crazy that what internet really started in 19. I mean, not internet. Sex. porn sites
internet porn started in like 1990s. Yeah.
So like almost around the time you and I were born, not in prehistoric time where Hector was born.
So like people
in the early
really weren't watching internet porn before our time, before we were born.
It was probably not as popular. There was probably
On the
like
internet.
there was probably like pictures and maybe a couple of videos, but like an actual dedicated site was probably not till like 1994.
That's funny.
Which now imagine
Like
back
pictures
then.
on like a forum.
Right. Like a, is it called a forum? They had a forum.
When did the dark web arise?
Technically, wasn't it in the 90s? We just
As well?
did this
It was
episode.
in the 90s. It was in the 90s when they.
I'd imagine that in the dark web, it was like I would imagine that's where like the first porn
I
arrived.
think I've said this in the very beginning of this podcast, but you, me, and Karina were born at honestly one of the best times in terms of the
Perfect time.
in terms of the
perfect
internet,
time.
computer, and technology. Like we are a part. Like there was a point in
Millennials,
life,
baby.
Yeah, there was a point in life where people were born during books, people were born during television, people were born during radio, and we got the internet, which was just like, yo, let me take everything and put it in one place. In fact, I'm gonna put it all in one phone, and you touch it, and everyone was like, yo, fuck. And it's like porn, buying stuff, like it's just wild. But especially
We were
porn.
born at the like very when technology really rise,
The
and we
brink.
saw the change from not
yeah.
having as much technology to having all the technology in one hand.
Right, that's
They
fucking
get to
wild.
appreciate that pre-technology and post-technology, and the
And then,
generation that's coming now is just like all technology.
I think
It's
we're still
weird how-
consumed in. We're still consumed in it, though. Don't get me twisted.
No, we're definitely no, but we can
Oh,
acknowledge
yeah, but at least we got
respect
to
the fact that,
appreciate a little
things were
time
different
without-
before.
Y'all both talked at the same time, and it was so good.
We did. That's why I shut up.
I was like, who's gonna win this battle? I'm sorry. No, that's cool. It happens because of Zoom. But what did you say, Karina? Real quick, and then we'll go to what Hector just said.
I said at least we had a little bit of time to appreciate a time without technology consuming us or at every turn.
Dial-up saved us more than anything because we had to wait to get on, and now it's so instant that we're just like, like what's going on? Like we get everything so fast. And Hector, what did you just say? My bad.
Pretty much what Karina said, but so I said that we get to like appreciate and respect a time when we didn't have technology,
Right.
and like I mean, so we live in it now, so it's like we get the best of both worlds in a sense.
Yeah, no doubt.
Same thing.
Now, with the history of the internet, there are more than just history. There is facts. Hector, what are some facts or fun facts when it comes to internet porn?
Facey facts.
Facey facts.
Oh, well, did you know? Of course you knew. Porn sites attract more visitors each month than Amazon, Netflix, and Twitter combined.
That's a lot. Can we just say
That's
that
a
real
lot.
quick?
That's
'Cause
a
people-
lot.
Amazon, Netflix, and Twitter combined. Can you fathom that?
And can you imagine how many one person, let's say me, have gone to all three things in 1 week?
You're like a loyal Amazon fucking buyer. So it's like you're on Amazon every fucking day.
Yo, Bezos, you fucking us up, bro, in terms of taxes, no doubt. But man, does that 2-day shipping wipe that all away from me somehow? It's fucked up. It's fucked up, but I'm not gonna lie. I get like
Fucking sheep.
Speaking of sheep, Karina over here trying to get an Apple iPhone 12.
Don't talk about
the day
sheep,
after.
but you're trying to get that.
Yeah.
Really
iPhone
not
12.
though.
Why
Really
is sheep,
not, though.
Why is the sheep
Really
If
telling
you
me
had
I'm
the
sheep?
means, if you had the funds for it, you would definitely do it. So
Oh, 100%. You would do it. You wouldn't get an iPhone 12 if you could today.
if money was ever an issue,
No.
get out of here.
You're lying.
You lying.
I was like, yo,
You on
bro,
Twitter.
why would you want that iPhone? You already got like literally the last model that just came out, and you were like, I don't know, that blue kind of nice though.
Yeah. if money was under restriction, we would get the newest things all the time.
Let's be real here. Everybody would have gotten it though.
Yeah.
Like I would have definitely upgraded my phone.
Exactly. Not the only one.
But yeah, Amazon, yeah. But Amazon, Netflix, and Twitter. That is a lot of.
People are on Twitter a lot.
Bro, everyone's on those sites, at least on, like, I'm sure all of us, except for, well, you guys don't hit Twitter up. I mean, you do.
I don't really.
Not that much, but can you imagine, like, let's say Instagram instead of Twitter, right? Like, Karina definitely hits all three in one day.
Yeah. You be on Amazon?
Yeah.
Do you be on Amazon? That's the
Not
one.
like
That's
that.
But you be looking.
I be looking, but I don't be buying like that.
Right. She likes going more local, which is understandable and respectable because the taxes go into other people
Our local.
instead of Bezos. Yeah. What's another fact, Hector?
Did you know that 30% of the internet is consisted of porn?
30%? Mm-hmm. So there's 100% of internet, and then
that's a lot.
That's a third?
Third. So less than third.
I can't do math right now.
I also can't do math enough to be like, Karina doesn't know math. But
a third is 33.33%.
Well, yeah, how long were you going to go with that? Let's be real here. How long were you about to go with that?
2 more.
How many more seconds did you have with that?
That's it.
So basic 33. 33%. Yeah. Okay.
It's a third, but it's
that's
30%.
30%, sorry.
It's like a third.
This is like another dark fact. 88% of porn contains violence against women.
Oof. Not surprising.
Can you imagine that?
Porn industry is very male dominant, you know? So
yeah, you know, men ain't shit. Thanksgiving is the least popular day of the year for viewing porn.
So I've seen this before. We actually did this. And it's all the major holidays. So like Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving.
Everyone be home.
It's family time.
Yeah, everybody be home. Y'all never.
Does everyone be home? You can't just jerk it off.
Exactly.
Y'all never swift or fapped before
people come in.
Yeah.
Wait, people come. Oh, you did that. That's what you said.
In the bathroom. I'm not saying I did that. I'm saying
what you did.
I'm asking.
You definitely did that. You brought it up. You definitely did it.
Someone who isn't me has done it before. I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
A friend of mine who lives with me.
A friend of mine, Romeo. Like y'all never.
God.
Have you ever been bored and just did it? Watch porn and just fapped it off?
Because I'm bored?
Yeah.
No.
Never? You didn't have like that extra
Sometimes
5 minutes?
I'd be doing it to get some serotonin in.
Understandable.
Because like before I moved out, whenever I got like opportunity to be alone, I'd be like, I'm horny. Let's do it. Boom. But I don't do it because I'm bored. I do it because I want to. I just feel that urge too.
Last question before you go into the last fact, so we could go to the word of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Since you've moved out, right? I feel like this is weird, but I feel like there's some sort of thrill in knowing that you might get caught watching Latina Takes BBC, right? And that being said, BBC. What would big black Tyrannosaurus? Like, what do you?
I don't know. I was like, what's T?
big black tennis. Like, what would the T be?
British Broadcasting Network.
That's BBN, bro.
Channel, sorry.
No,
T.
T. So British Broadcasting Television. There you go. Yeah. So okay. So is it more fun now that you know you have privacy, or is it more fun knowing that someone could just walk in?
I don't think it's fun. I think there's just a thrill to like being caught, but I there is a sense of like peace. I don't know what to call it, but it's like calmness with knowing the fact that I have my space and I can do whatever I want. Like I don't have to like hide the fact that I want to masturbate right now or something like that.
Right.
I can just do it if I want to do it.
Fair.
It's just nice.
Okay, Hector, give us one more fact so we can go into the word of the week.
So I wanted to come at Weezy, but the most searched categories of 2019, the top 3 are Japanese being 1, hentai being 2, and lesbian being 3.
See, she didn't judge you for it. She doesn't kink shame.
No, she didn't.
But that was definitely not her thing. But I get it though. So if you guys listen to the part with Weezy, she did say the reason why she wasn't a big fan of hentai was because it's correlated to adult cartoon porn, and cartoons in general just remind her of like childhood. You know.
Yeah, but I see that because she doesn't really watch cartoons.
Right.
Like I watch anime
as an adult.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
So that's fair.
Kids.
You said hentai, Japanese.
Hentai two.
Okay, it's
Japanese
Japanese.
is one.
What do you think it is? I really do think, and this is I don't care. But like Japanese porn and Asian porn is always correlated to the really high pitched moaning from when I've heard it before. Yeah, see, like that. like, oh, yeah. Like, well, no, that's like more white girl porn. That's more white girl porn. Like for some reason when I yeah. Oh yeah, you want to fucking spit in my pussy?
Wow.
Like that. That's usually white girl porn. And then Asian porn. By the way, we're talking about straight porn. I don't know what gay Japanese porn would be like, but
same thing.
It might be the same thing.
To see that.
Yeah, we'll watch it right afterwards. But yeah, like it's a really high pitched moan, and I think dudes love that because they're like, "Ooh, I'm doing a good job." And like
this is like the vocal affirmation that like, "Ooh, I'm doing a good job." Like, oh,
the vocal affirmation that I'm giving you that
Look
good
at
dick.
this
Whoa.
guy, Mr. College.
Even though I didn't graduate.
Wow. What is there's something wrong with all of us.
That.
There's something wrong with all of us, yo. We all get like a fucking round of applause, then we just have to self-deprecate right
It's
afterwards.
self-deprecation.
Yo. Oh my god. And what was the third one, by the way?
Lesbian.
I can see that. I mean, as a straight Latino male, I do love seeing two.
I indulge in it all the time.
I love watching two women get together and have dinner.
Give each other some pleasure.
Oh wow, I said dinner. You are wildin', bro.
They eat each other.
That's not what I meant.
But boom. So
what's the bottom three from that list?
The bottom three. Oh, I let you know. Oh, I don't like these. Damn. No, I actually do. I don't know why Squirt is the bottom of that. Squirt is pretty dope.
Squirt?
I enjoy Squirt. Squirt is last.
I enjoy the idea and the process of squirting. I wouldn't go searching for it for porn. I like
it being sprinkled in my session of porn. Like I'll see it here and there, like sprinkled. No, I'm not gonna search for it. I agree with that.
Like
the second to last is Joy, which you said was what was it? Joy.
Joy.
Joy? Some is assistance with jerking off.
Jerking off instructions. So it's not joy as in JOY, it's JOI. So jerking off instructions. So that's another one. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's falling right in the list. Well,
that one I would like.
I would not watch a woman telling me how to jerk off. That makes me nervous. Or a guy told me, Karina, how would you react to that if a guy is just like, yeah, just like swish right there and wiggle it over there and then hit.
I mean, you had to jerk.
And then like rub on that IKEA couch real quick. Like, how would you deal with that? You think you would be well received for that?
Tell me what to do.
Ew! First of all, she just bit her fucking lip, bro. She just dead ass bit her lip. No, she just bit her lip. She's like,
that sounds nice.
That meat couch looks good. Ooh, is that coffee black? Oh wow! Like
that's crazy. And the third last is BBC.
That's last.
Not expecting to be there.
Broadcasting chat.
The British. I understand why it's last because the British broadcasting chat.
Just guys going or.
It's actually that's the first and the third. So it's BBC Joy and then Squirt being the last.
I'm gonna be an extra dickhead before we do this word of the week. I'm curious to what's the one right above BBC.
Do you know it?
Does it say?
No, I'm curious.
It's Indian.
Oh, okay. I mean, I get that. I don't search Indian.
And then after that's cartoon.
That's wild. Indian and then BBC?
Yeah, cartoon Indian BBC.
I would think.
I would
cartoon.
think BBC
I kind of get
up in the middle.
I would think BBC is way up there because I'm sure it's very much fetishized.
Yeah.
You would think.
You
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Well,
people in 2019 weren't with it.
Yeah, people in 2019 wanted to have grandma.
Japanese and hentai and lesbian porn.
Grandma's higher, right?
Grandma is
Toothless grandma.
Oh, they didn't categorize it in this list.
Okay, that's fine. Well, guys, that was your overall topics of porn, internet porn history, and internet porn Facts. And before we go, we have a little special thing as always. We love to do the word of the week.
The word of the week.
What's the word of the week, Hector?
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it to you.
It's like, I don't want to.
I
No.
don't want to do it.
No.
Well, the word of the week this
Give it
week
to me.
is. Oh, okay.
Oh. Why did you Hadouken that fat?
'Cause I was gonna give it to you. It's Hadouken, first of all, but
It's Hadouken.
You fucking
It's-
stupid.
Hadouken.
It's Shrugen.
Okay, it's fap. The word is fap. The word of the week
Fap.
is fap.
How do you spell that?
What is that, Hector?
F-A-P.
Yeah, what is that?
It's the sound that occurs from
Even
vigorously
sentence?
beating your meat.
Oh, sorry. I just couldn't hear you unless you're on youtube.com and you search too much internet and then you watch our episode and you saw Hector jerked off. Right. Hector
did no
is,
such
Hector
thing.
now has a chainsaw out. Okay. Yeah, fap.
Yeah.
Fapping. So that's the sound we make when we
The
jerk off
sound
our.
that occurs from vigorously beating your meat.
Does that include women meat?
No, because you swish it, right?
Oh, you swish swish?
That's what you said.
Karina, you swish swish? Because a woman is like swish 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 swish, and a guy's like
Swish,
fap fap fap
swish.
fap 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 fap.
Fap.
Yeah, fap fap swish swish.
Fap, fap.
That's
swish, swish.
I feel like that's a
You
TikTok
swish
dance.
the whap.
That's a TikTok dance. Like, I definitely could see that.
Shut up.
Oh,
Yeah. Fap fap swish swish throw rolling back and then you do the fucking star thing. I don't know. I feel like that's usually like a TikTok thing. How would you use fap in a sentence?
so after this episode finishes recording, I'm gonna go fap a bit.
It is
There's
3 p.m. on October 14th. That is a Wednesday.
There is no right time to fap. You can
Anyone-
fap at any
No.
hour of the week.
If you remember
Wrong
what you were,
time. There's no
if you
wrong
were,
time.
if you were
There's
doing
no
something at 3:14 p.m. on October 14th, just know Hector was fapping at that time while you were doing normal stuff. Which
definitely-
fapping is normal
Yes.
stuff. It's 3:17 now,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be like a
I'm
little.
not gonna be fapping at 3:17.
So what is it? It's like you're like maybe at like. Well, I hope not because we're still recording and we still got a little
Exactly. Exactly. I'm not doing that.
bit. So at 3:30 p.m. maybe.
Stop.
Hector's touching his meat. And if you want to see that, go to youtube.com and then search too much internet and then okay, so I'll use it. I couldn't fap yesterday because I was too tired from all the stuff we were doing for prepping for Weezy's episode and our episode and our things about our podcast. Yeah. Bam. Flex.
That's not a flex, but
Well,
Karina,
like, yeah.
fap it up.
Okay. I mean, I can't fap. I don't have.
You don't have to fap, but you
plan.
can make a sentence.
With fap.
Okay. Fapping. Wednesdays are my fapping day.
Okay. Wednesdays are your fapping day? Yo, are y'all both gonna beat y'all meats like right after this podcast?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
totally. I was just joking about it, but she's totally gonna do it.
No, I am. I'm not joking.
Oh boy, 4 o'clock. Wow. Okay, well, Fab. I would love to see you guys and Brian. So nice shout out to Brian. And I don't know if Brian had a thing from this recent word of the week. We're filming a little too close to the last episode, so we probably don't have anything. But we'll still
Same day we dropped.
yeah, we filmed the same day we dropped. But shout out to Brian real quick because he always participates. But I'm sure he would have.
And I know his word of the week is gonna be fire.
It's gonna be fire, but we are encouraging everybody.
Bars.
We'll throw in
Bars,
some
please.
stuff in the future, but we want to make sure that you guys come interact with us. We definitely have some stuff we're posting that we want you guys to enjoy, have fun, and share with your friends. So please make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at toomuch.internet. But if you want to be a little spicy and follow us on Twitter, follow us at the TMI pod. We didn't change that. Twitter, what's up? Why you guys got a character limit? Y'all fucking us up. But make sure you also follow us on your favorite streaming platforms. Follow us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Google Podcasts. And don't forget Spotify and anywhere else you enjoy your favorite podcast.
Whenever Amazon gets podcasting, you know, follow us there too.
And then follow us there too, which I think it's going to be on I think right now they're doing Apple. They're doing Amazon Music, and then it's going to turn into podcast, particularly for that type of audio formatting. Guys, this has been the Too Much Internet Podcast. We would like to thank Weezy for coming on to this episode.
Thank you.
That sounds wild. For coming in this episode.
That's even worse. What's wrong with you?
Why?
Weezy, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We love you, and you're the best. And thank you for being so goddamn funny. This has been the Too Much Internet Podcast. Bye.
Bye.